Good day, you absolute legends. In today's video, we're going to be discussing Mr. Murray's very cryptic tweet that he's also been retweeting over the last few days as well. What could it mean? Is it a future update or is it something else entirely? Well, the community seems to think it's going to be a massive update coming to No Man's Sky, but there is some things about Light No Fire as well. I wanted to have like a big broader discussion, and I'm also challenging myself in today's video again because you guys really enjoyed it the last time I did this, where I'm going to do everything in one take. So no editing, no fancy voice work, nothing like that. Just one continuous take. So if I mess up, you guys are going to know about it. But before we do get into today's video, ladies and gentlemen, can I please just ask you just to double check for me that you are indeed still subscribed to the channel. If you need to resubscribe, please do resubscribe. Or if you have been watching me for a while and you like what I do, then why not consider hitting that subscribe button? You definitely will not regret it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to get through today, so let's get right into today's video. So, as we already know, Mr. Murray has been posting this AI clock tweet. He's been reposting it, and the community has all of a sudden ignited on fire with every kind of speculation that you can possibly think of. There's been videos of other YouTubers doing videos about this. I've done a video about this already. But what could it all actually mean? Now, there are some plausible explanations, and after reading some of my own comments, this is what some of the plausible explanations are. So first of all, I asked in my previous video whether or not that this was going to be like whether or not this was an update on like Windows 11. So obviously it showed a picture of a clock. Does Windows 11 have, or Windows 10 or any Windows operating system have an app or a clock other than just what was already baked in, and can that be updated? And so in the comment section, Will said, yeah, this could be an update for that, or maybe it is on Linux, or it is on Mac, but I've never seen Mac or Linux use that particular clock before. But again, I've not particularly dabbled in that. It's not something that I use, but it's not something I've seen online either, so it is what it is. And it's still strange to me because I've never had to use a clock app before, so it looks like that this may very well be an app that Mr. Murray is using. However, it's still strange that there is still that blue dot there. Now, there was a video yesterday, I believe, by Captain Steve, and he says, look, these dots are not anything special because in the app itself, and he's actually Google imaged this, it actually shows like 3 or 4 other dots next to it. However, Mr. Captain of the Steve, one thing I will say that is a little more sus is these other dots are just normally like white dots going into like faded grayscale dots, like bang, bang, bang. And they're all like central to the actual clock itself. However, the one in Mr. Murray's image is a little pale blue dot to the bottom left of the image, which again is not normally found there. And that's what I think is very strange. That's what the community thinks is very strange. So what is going on here? What could it actually mean? Now, like I've said, again, Mr. Murray is a very calculated character. He doesn't post anything just for the sakes of it. He's got a business to run, and for all intents and purposes, his Twitter account is a business account for Hello Game Studio, No Man's Sky the game, and the upcoming Light No Fire game as well. So he can't just be posting random things, not on that account anyway. So it's very calculated, and it has to be that way. So it does have some significance to it. It has to have, and that's the way that I think about it. Now, going across the lines of what I've seen online already, and it has been, again, a few more days, really, since Mr. Murray has tweeted that, and then, like I said, he's retweeted it since, and again, that's always a good sign that there is things in the pipework. I still feel like the narrative of AI being brought into No Man's Sky in some form is probably going to happen, and going off the speculation that I've seen in the comments section, a lot of people seem to agree with that, and a lot of people are not very happy about it. And that's, again, it's always a good sign when people aren't happy about something, because it means that people actually think the same kind of case, because a lot of people don't like AI. So if a lot of people are agreeing, going, well, AI is probably going to be coming into a No Man's Sky update at some point, then even the naysayers are saying, well, we don't like AI and I'll never touch the game again. Even they're thinking that it's going to be an AI update of some sort, which again is very it's very good at the same time as very, very bad because, like I said, with AI, you need to do it right. And, I think if it's going to expand things like dialogue and interaction with NPCs, with, custom response and custom questions that you can ask and you'll get a custom response back, then I think that's brilliant. I mean, I personally really would enjoy that. But a lot of people are like, well, this is AI. Why do we need AI? AI is taking people's jobs and so on. It's making, things like irrelevant. I remember reading a comment on the video that I did the other day there, and it said something like, before printers came along, people that used to like manually do like typist jobs or like printing press jobs, are now obsolete because printers like automatically do all that now. I forget the exact fancy word for it. He used the actual terminology for it, but I hope you guys understand what I mean. So, at the end of the day, I understand where people are coming from. Of course I do. And again, I've seen a lot of people say, the AI's taking over and it's, stopping people from making custom artwork because AI now can do it 20 billion times quicker. And in most cases, people get it there and then instant, and it's usually for free. So again, it is destroying many industries. So I do understand that, and don't get me wrong, it's not great, and AI should be used in different ways other than that. But that's my personal opinion. But when it comes to No Man's Sky, and that's where I kind of draw the line here, is when it comes to No Man's Sky, if they implement it correctly, if it's for custom dialogue, I am all on board. Even to the point of custom missions, doing missions that no one's ever done or seen before. That could be pretty cool because, missions in No Man's Sky, as we know, especially like part of like the Quicksilver missions, or should I say just the Nexus missions in general, have been very stagnant for a very, very, very long time. It's always the same old, depending on what you click, it could either go and combat this pirate, go down to this planet, grab this, and go and take it to the... And that's usually about it, maybe a bit more, but still. Even go as far as, custom expeditions. That would be pretty freaking cool if they could, integrate AI into doing that. Because no offense to No Man's Sky, but there are only a handful of expeditions since expeditions started, 7 years ago, however long it's been now, that I've personally really enjoyed, and the rest have all really been the same copy and paste formula, and it's very tedious. It's just a bunch of fetch quests just to unlock the new peripherals, or I said peripherals, the new eye candy that they brought into the game. That's usually the only reason that they really do expeditions. And yeah, some people say, oh, it's to showcase the new update on what it's capable of, whether it's be better graphics or showing off the new ship or whatever. And again, expeditions are really good for that, but if you get it in the base game, do you really need an expedition on top just to clarify what you've done? Again, that's an argument I'll leave for the comment section, but at the end of the day, if they could bring AI in to change that and help the team out to expand on things like expeditions and to tell a deeper narrative, a deeper story, giving us more quests, more ideas than just previously like regenerated stuff that they use on every single expedition, like go here, mine that rock, go here, scan that fauna, go here, scan that animal 20,000 times. And I hope that the AI could turn around and go, okay, we've already done that, let's try something different. And the team might go, okay, let's go with their idea. I'm just saying, like, I'm just kind of like speculating, I'm spitballing here. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it could be used for that. But what else could AI be used for? I mean, AI is already making making breakthroughs, really, in gaming development entirely. I mean, there's an AI out currently, and I forget the name, but you can Google it, and it can code for you. You can make video games for you. I mean, I've seen plenty of AI now starting to do that. So could it be that it could also help No Man's Sky in the future with its longevity in writing code to implement into the game? And what could that code be used for? It could be to expand really on the whole No Man's Sky quest line, the one that we've had that's not really been changed much since 2017, 2018, maybe 2019, around that time. We've not really had much on the base quest line stuff, so maybe AI could write some new missions going down that route to really expand on the storyline, or it could help come essentially get rid of bugs in the game. You know, it could help with a lot of things. You know, multiplayer connectivity could be a thing of the past where, you know, we're having so many problems at the minute, but maybe it's because the team don't know how to fix it. I mean, and that's the way that I need to think about it now, because the community has been complaining, including yours truly. I mean, I complain about multiplayer in No Man's Sky a lot in a lot of these videos, but at the end of the day, it's not happened to the point where I would say it's even satisfactory at the minute. For No Man's Sky multiplayer, it is a massive heap of mess. And it's so frustrating because it's one of the greatest games in the entire world at the minute, in my humble opinion. And multiplayer has always been the thorn in its side. It's always been the module that has just always really let it down, in my opinion. But maybe the team don't know how to fix multiplayer for No Man's Sky for whatever reason. Maybe you know, maybe the code is too old. Maybe they don't want to invest in new technology, especially with Light No Fire coming around the corner. You know, maybe they want to put the development in that instead. I mean, there are a million ideas and reasons, should I say, why multiplayer the way that it is. You know, I think it's partially Hello Games' fault, and I also think it's partially the servers that they use, the Azure servers, which is Microsoft. I think it is. I think it's many things to blame, really, across the board of that. But with AI, essentially, they could, essentially, if it is a problem that the team don't know how to fix, AI could fix it. It could be new eyes, or should I say new computing power to go against the problem, and maybe that will be able to fix something that they can. I mean, it's worth a try, right? I mean, AI is good in a lot of ways. It can be bad in a lot of ways. But with this update, the update that's coming next, I think, you know, I think we're going to get it around about the May, April time, going into probably towards the end of May. If we get it any sooner than that, I would be surprised. But going into early April, most definitely, we would have the update by then, or we will be, you know, all gearing up because we'll start seeing the Steam sales and everything else by then. So I think there is an update coming. Personally, I think this is a No Man's Sky update hint. However, I've also seen that, you know, there are plenty of people speculating online that this is essentially a countdown for the Light No Fire game. We've already had a trailer, but we are waiting for a release date. And funny enough, Captain Steve did a video, like I said, yesterday, and he asked one of his pals and found something quite strange. Now, on a website, and again, you'll go and watch this video. I'll have it all tagged, but his pal went onto this website that that you can pre-order games from and things like that. Light No Fire's on it, and it said on this description that the game was coming out in 2025. But on every other site, and including on Steam and even on the official Light No Fire website, it's still to be determined. So did this website mess up and kind of give a hint to when this game is coming out? Again, who knows? But it might have some merit that essentially this could be a countdown to Light No Fire. And people are saying, well, you know, with the little blue dot in the bottom left, it is essentially meant to be a gigantic world, one planet. So people are marrying that up with a timer, and people are saying, well, you know, maybe we're going to get this now. Maybe that's what this is about. Maybe that's what this whole posting is about, which again would make sense because, like I said at the beginning of today's video, the account was, Mr. Murray's account, should I say, is only for Hello Games business, No Man's Sky business, Light No Fire business. It's not for anything else. So he's not just going to post a random picture of a clock and call it a day. If he wanted to do that, he would do it for his own probably very private Twitter account, if he even has one, or Facebook account, or whatever. He wouldn't just post it on the actual account that he uses for all of his No Man's Sky propaganda and Hello Games propaganda, should I say. So, yeah, it is very, very sus, I think. And if I had to lean between one of the two, right now, I'm leaning towards No Man's Sky, but it is still interesting, and I will be keeping an eye on whether or not it will be a Light No Fire announcement or when it's going to be released. It is very interesting, and, you know, it does pique my interest that, you know, when people are saying that, and then I'll look at it myself and I go, maybe there's actually more to this, because a little blue dot would explain it. I mean, again, make your own mind up. But right now, if I had to draw the final line, I will say more on Norman Sky. This is probably going to be a Norman Sky update, probably leading to AI and other developments being brought into the game. And they could probably use AI, like I said, for a myriad of different things. That's what I'm going with at the moment until I see anything different. But as always, I will be keeping an eye on Mr. Murray's Twitter page or Hello Games page or any other kind of speculation that's floating about on the internet to really get to the bottom of this before anything does come out. You guys will be the first to know, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. As always, notification bell ticked. I post virtually every day anyway. But yeah, like I said, how did I do today? I don't think I stumbled up as much in today's video like I did the first time I tried this. But yeah, if I nailed the challenge, let me know. If I didn't, let me know. Again, be civilly. Or what did I say the last time? It was be civilly, not rude. Be civilly, whatever. Just let me know. Comment section down below. You know what to do. But yeah, that's everything from me here today. And as always, my name is Professor Cynical, and I'll catch you all again in the next one. Bye for now.